I thank the chairman. And, Mr. Chairman, as we sit in this room with the portraits of all of our former chairs looking down on us, it's interesting to note that when this committee, and you were probably the only one who was here, when this committee marked up the Clean Air Act, it took you 8 months. We are hearing a markup on a bill today that will fundamentally change life in America for every American citizen for generations, and we are spending 2 days. This is a travesty, Mr. Chairman, something of which really none of us should be proud to have our committee and our committee's expertise trampled in the way it has been by the Speaker of the House with this bill that we have in front of us today. We're going to devastate our nation's energy, our nation's health, telecommunications, and where is our oversight on the Office of Refugee Resettlement? So recently, we saw in the previous administration, this country achieved energy independence, something that a goal that had been sought since the Arab oil embargo in the early 1970s. Energy independence was not just about energy, it was about security and our security in the world. But the current administration decided it was no longer important. We could buy our wind and solar from Chinese companies, and if you did happen to need a little natural gas, maybe the Russians would sell it to you through the Nord Stream 2. This is an anti-energy bill that we are considering in front of us today. We should commit to making energy more reliable, more affordable, more accessible, but this bill does none of those. And this legislation contains some of the most significant changes to our healthcare system. And what are we going to achieve? We're going to cripple access, we're going to stifle innovation, and heaven help us as far as quality. And there's been no public debate. There's been no bipartisan dialogue. This is one large step closer to government-controlled healthcare, healthcare in which there is no patient choice, there is no consumer choice, and worst of all, there is no escape. Last, we are the committee with oversight over the Office of Refugee Resettlement. We've recently, as recently as the month of July, learned about the 100,000 people that came into our country without the benefit of any sort of normal process on our southern border. Now we have a severe strain on the Office of Refugee Resettlement with all of the Afghan refugees that need to be brought in and vetted and carefully assessed before they are allowed to enter society. But we're not doing that. We're not having any oversight. We're not having any hearing. Mr. Chairman, I submit this is a travesty. This should stop. This bill must not become law.